Good afternoon and welcome to VMT News. My name is Gilberto Cruz. U.S. detained 14 Mexican soldiers who accidentally crossed the border. 14 Mexican soldiers were detained at the border in El Paso early Saturday after accidentally crossing into the United States. One soldier was cited for posing marijuana for personal use. CBP said in a statement, and all were returned to Mexico within 5 hours. CBP agents were on the bridge on the Americas crossing in El Paso after midnight when they noticed Mexican soldiers' vehicles had crossed the international boundary. They detained the 14 soldiers who were inside the vehicles. The soldiers' weapons and equipment were secured for safety and processing. CBP said the soldiers advised that they did not realize they had entered the U.S. Mexican military leaders were contacted and the soldiers and their equipment were returned to Mexico by 5 a.m. CBP said, on to the next story. Man with a bow and arrow shot by officer after carjacking in Atlanta. Standoff with the police. A man with a bow and arrow was shot by the police Tuesday morning after he carjacked a woman in Atlanta, crashed a stolen vehicle in a suburb in a neighborhood country, and pointed the weapon at an officer. Authorities said the suspect fired an arrow into the victim's windshield while damaging her too. Police said the victim complied and the suspect fled in her 2014 Toyota Camry. She was not injured. The suspect, identified by the Georgia Bureau of Investigation as a Trent Andrew Emory, 29, of Canton, Georgia. After the crash, the officers tried to negotiate about 20 minutes. When the commands were not followed, the officer drew their handgun and fired it, striking the suspect one time. After the shooting, the suspect refused to comply with the additional orders. Officers used the shield to safety approach him before he was handcuffed. No officers were injured in the incident. And now with some state news coming right up. Texas court orders release of more than 200 migrants imprisoned by governor's border security clampdown. Texas is set to release nearly 250 migrants who were arrested under the governor's catch and jail border security policy, and Saturday prison for more than a month without being charged with crimes. A state district judge granted a motion to release them on no-cost bonds Tuesday morning after defense attorneys challenged and continue in prison of hundreds of migrants, citing widespread violations of the state law and constitutional rights due process. Texas law requires criminal defendants be released from jail on no-cost or affordable bond. If prosecutors delay cases by not filing charges quickly for trespassing, the charge which the vast majority of the migrants were arrested, the deadline is set to 15 or 30 days, depending on the charge level. It's unclear that they will happen to men. When they are released from state custody, federal immigration authorities may choose to take into custody or deport them, or they may be released into the United States while waiting for the criminal and potential immigration processing. In the times, migrants have been separated from their families during arrest, and now with some around the area news. Border story. We suffered a lot to get here is what a Haitian migrant harrowing journey has been to the Texas-Mexico border after leaving his native Haiti for Chile in 2018. Nicole struggled for years to find full-time work. Some days he worked as a construction worker, other days he would mow lawns or clean houses. During this time there, he met his future wife, who had also come to Chile from Haiti looking for work. After she became pregnant in August and work options became fewer, the two left Chile following thousands of Haitians who made the previous journey from South America to Del Rio, seeking asylum along the way. Nicole, 26, said he and his wife, who didn't want to be interviewed, saw fellow migrants swept away while crossing the river. We suffered a lot to get here, said Nicole, who asked to be identified only by his first name out of fear or of harming his chances to stay in the United States. Since September 9, 30,000 Haitians arrived in Del Rio. Migrants said that they chose a small border city because they heard it was safer than other routes. And at one point, as many as 15,000 were forced to camp beneath the international bridge when their numbers overwhelmed immigration officials. The reasons why thousands of Haitians decided to migrate to the United States now varies. However, Haitian migrants interviewed say that they decided to leave now because of jobs had dried up in Chile. The other South American countries, as a result of the pandemic, some couldn't legalize for immigration. To be able to work legally in Chile, others were tired of not being able to afford to feed their children, and some said racism toward black people drove them out. Michael said that he just grateful they survived the trip, and he wants to leave those harrowing experiences in the past. Things are better here for immigrants, right? Michael asked, adding, I just want to work, find a consistent job, and find stability. The local news coming right up. LISD partners with nonprofit COVID-19 testing. The school district LISD is partnering with a nonprofit organization to keep their students safe from the coronavirus. The name of the nonprofit is Community Labs. The test clinic was held at a local middle school, Lamar Middle School. In order to take the test, parents had to register their children via the school's online portal. Once the students were called in, they were offered a cotton swab that they inserted into both nostrils, and the results will be ready within 24 hours. Assistant Principal Sandra Trevino says offering this type of service to the students is vital in order to prevent the spread of COVID-19, not just on their campus, but other schools as well. Across the entire school district, Community Labs have administered roughly 1,200 tests. The nonprofit from San Antonio says that they are going to continue to provide this type of service while the younger population remains unvaccinated. After the commercial break, we will be back with the weather. Today's weather will be partly cloudy with 96 degrees Fahrenheit, and there was a 5% chance of rain, so make sure to wear fresh clothes. And now with our 3-day forecast. October 14 will be partly cloudy with 93 degrees Fahrenheit, and there is a 24% chance of rain. October 15 will be partly cloudy with 90 degrees Fahrenheit and will be a 24% chance of rain. October 16 will be cloudy with 90 degrees Fahrenheit, and there will be 35% chance of rain, so keep those umbrellas close.
Hi everyone, Al Roker here. As a guy with his own catchphrase, I appreciate that Smokey's only said,
only you can prevent wildfires.
But I'm filling in because there's a lot more to report. Like when there are parched or windy conditions out there, you gotta be extra careful with things like burning yard waste. After all, wildfires can start anywhere, even in your neck of the woods. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
And now with sports, predicting MVP, top rookie players of the year, honors, comeback stars, breakout, and more. Rosters are built and trades are submitted. So now the real work begins. No more vanilla preseason games. It's all about matchups. The players who win those matchups most often will have the inside track at individual awards, postseason recognition, and of course, fantasy heroism. We know the basics when it comes to award season. A quarterback will probably win the most valuable player. Aaron Donald will be in the mix for defensive player of the year, and a few rookies outside of first round will be emerged as stars. But there is plenty more still to be determined. Matthew Stafford has generated more buzz in his first offseason with the Rams than perhaps his 14 combined campaigns with the Lions. The Chargers' Justin Herbert looks ready to explode. Patrick Mahomes might be even better than an improved offensive lines. Lamar Jackson's ceilings remains a hot debate. Tom Brady plays for the most talented team in football right now, and reigning MVP Aaron Rodgers embarks on the last dance. And another spite season, which means big numbers. Beyond the QBs, at least 7 running backs are threats to post 2,000 total yards. Last season, 9 different receivers posted 1,200 plus yards, a number that might grow this year because of the influx of talent at the position. And now with our final story. 22 Super Bowl halftime show when the NFL hosts the Super Bowl in Los Angeles area in February of 2022. It'll do so with one of the biggest halftime shows to date, at least in terms of combined star power on the stage. The league announced last week, along with Pepsi, Jay-Z's Rock Nation, that this year's Super Bowl halftime show, set for the Inglewood SoFi Stadium, will be headlined by 5 different legends of the hip-hop scene: Dr. Dre, Eminem, Kendrick Lamar, Mary J., and Snoop Dogg. On February 13, 2022, at the Super Bowl, Jay-Z said in a statement, "Dr. Dre, a music from Compton, Snoop Dogg, an icon from Long Beach, and Kendrick Lamar, a young musical pioneer in his own right, also from Compton, will take center field for a performance of a lifetime. They will be joined by lyrical genius Eminem and the timeless queen, Mary J." This is history in the making. On February 13, 2022, at the Super Bowl, said in a statement, the NFL entered a partnership with Jay-Z's Rock Nation entertainment company in 2019, and this marks the most star-studded collaboration yet. Along with Pepsi, the partners featured The Weeknd during the halftime show of the Buccaneers' 2020 Super Bowl win, with Shakira and Jennifer Lopez sharing the stage the year prior. This year's lineup boasts a combined 43 Grammy wins, plus hundreds of millions of album sales worldwide, not to mention several Los Angeles connections. The opportunity to perform at the Super Bowl halftime show and do it with my own backyard will be one of the biggest thrills of my career, Dr. Dre in a statement. I'm grateful to Jay-Z, Rock Nation, the NFL, and Pepsi, as well Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Mary J., and Kendrick Lamar for joining me, and will be an unforgettable cultural moment. And that is all for today. Have a great day.